Barnabas Collins ha organizado una fiesta de época a la que ha invitado a sus parientes para que sean testigos de las remodelaciones que se han hecho en la casa vieja. Pese a la incomodidad de Elizabeth y Caroline por vestir las ropas de sus antepasados, con las que creen perturban también a sus ancestros, Barnabas no se desanima y espera ansioso la llegada de su nueva elegida.
Well, that must be Miss Winters and Mr. Devlin. I'll let them in, excuse me. Miss Winters.
Hello, Mr. Collins.
May I say how lovely you look?
Thank you.
Hello, Collins.
Is anything wrong?
No, of course not. I'm delighted you could come.
For a moment I thought you objected to something about this costume.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, Miss Winters helped me select it.
I think Burke looks just like Jeremiah Collins, don't you?
Very much so.
Well, I must say I feel rather strange. This isn't exactly my style.
Well, you look very handsome. Don't you think so?
Yes. Will you come in?
Luego de los saludos respectivos y en vista de que ya están todos los invitados presentes, Barnabas propone un brindis.
To the past and all its remembered glories.
To the past.
Victoria reanuda la conversación, comentando sobre la sensación de que realmente está viviendo en el pasado.
Well, Vicky, I said the same thing when we walked into this room. I think it's the candlelight. They lend a marvelous atmosphere.
No. I don't think so at all, because I felt that way all evening. When I put on this dress, I really thought that I was Josette Collins.
Was it an unpleasant feeling?
No, quite to the contrary. I think I would have been very happy as Josette.
I like you just the way you are, as Vicky Winters.
Listen,
What, Liz?
the bell tolling the hour.
It's the chapel bell down in the valley.
Oh, I didn't realize you could hear it from here.
Yes, sometimes at night it's quite distinct.
The stroke of 11. The hour before midnight. What a splendid time to be visited by a ghost.
Roger, don't talk like that.
Oh, I was only joking, Liz.
Caroline hace notar que las velas comienzan a parpadear y un frío repentino invade la sala.
Suddenly so cold in here. So very cold.
Yes, I can feel it too.
Barnabas pide disculpas, explicando que en la casa vieja suelen entrar corrientes de aire.
Mother?
What is it, Liz?
I thought I felt something.
Felt something?
I thought I felt a hand touching my shoulder.
But how could that be? There's no one standing behind you.
I know.
Caroline cree que la sensación está en la imaginación de su madre, ya que es la más afectada por el frío que hace allí, y desde temprano se ha sentido nerviosa. Victoria y Barnabas también lo atribuyen a su imaginación.
Are you sure it was Liz's imagination? Could you have been touched by a ghost, Liz?
A ghost?
You must be joking.
No, I've never been more serious in my life. We all know of the legends of Collinwood. The ghosts from the past that come back to haunt this house. What if one of them was trying to contact you for some reason? I think we should meet it halfway.
How do you mean?
I think we should have a seance.
Seance?
Yes. I think that one of our ancestors is in this room. It may be Joshua or Millicent or Naomi or perhaps Josette. And it's trying to contact us. I think we should find out why. And the answer to that is to have a seance.
Roger, I must warn you, I'm not overly fond of parlor games.
Oh, but this isn't a game. We had a seance once, and to my amazement, it was quite successful. I think we should try it again.
Barnabas no está de acuerdo y Elizabeth le dice a su hermano que no sea absurdo. Pero Roger se mantiene firme y pide a los caballeros que lo ayuden con la mesa.
I dislike saying this, but I really must protest.
Why? What is your objection?
Well, I merely object to frightening the ladies.
Are you sure you're not afraid?
Afraid? Why would I be afraid?
Well, many people fear the unseen. But you surprised me. I didn't think you would be one of them.
Of course I'm not afraid.
Well, then shall we proceed?
Really?
It's no use, Barnabas. Once Roger gets an idea in his head, it's very hard to make him change his mind. It's best to humor him.
Good. Then we'll go on with it.
Reluctantly, but I still think it's a waste of time.
Carolyn, Vicky, Devlin, what do you say?
I don't know.
Vicky, I'll leave it to you.
Well, I guess we could try it.
Good. Now, table over here.
Los asistentes comienzan a preparar la mesa
There.
y todo el mundo se sienta alrededor de ella.
What now?
Now,
Roger instruye al grupo de la forma en que deben colocar sus manos formando un círculo unido. Luego les pide concentración para poder establecer comunicación con la presencia de quien pudiera estar allí. Roger comienza a decir los nombres de los antepasados Collins, invitando a hablar a quien esté presente.
who is here with us? Who is in this room? Who is trying to communicate with us? Is it you, Joshua? Naomi? Millicent? Josette?
Do you think it could be Josette?
Shh, Vicky, concentrate.
Sorry.
Who's here? Who's in this room? Who are you? We're waiting for you to contact us.
Nothing's going to happen.
Liz, please. Speak to us. Whoever you are, we're waiting. We're waiting. Speak to us.
There's nothing here, Uncle Roger.
Speak to us. Speak to us.
I think Carolyn is right.
Speak to us.
I'm afraid I must ask you all to put an end to this.
Of course we should. It's perfectly obvious that it's absolutely wasting time.
All right, but
Oh,
what is it, Liz?
piercing cold is here again. It's come back.
Yes, I feel it too. There's something here. Something in this room.
The candles. Who blew them out?
No one.
Oh,
The doors.
It's the wind, just the wind.
I think we better call a halt to this right now.
I agree with you.
So do I.
Vicky?
Vicky.
What's the matter, Vicky?
It's too late to stop now. Even if we wanted to. Vicky's going into a trance. We're about to be contacted by someone from beyond the grave.
En medio de la sesión, se ha hecho contacto con un espíritu errante, y este ha elegido a Victoria para hablar a través de ella. El espíritu, visiblemente aterrado, manifiesta su necesidad de correr y alejarse.
Don't stop me!
El espíritu que se posesionó de Vicky sigue hablando con frases entrecortadas, mientras los presentes a su alrededor intentan comprender lo que está ocurriendo.
He's getting closer.
Someone is chasing her.
He's getting closer.
Who is chasing you?
He mustn't catch me.
Who mustn't catch you?
This is cruel. Vicky is obviously in pain.
She feels nothing. Only the person who's speaking through her.
That's not the way I see it.
Leave her alone. I want to find out what this is.
I don't care what it is.
El espíritu sigue manifestando su terrorífica experiencia en medio de esa noche fría. Se dirige hacia el acantilado de Widow's Hill, decidida a saltar.
She's Josette.
Barnabas también se ha dado cuenta que se trata de Josette, reviviendo sus últimos minutos de vida. Y lo que menos desea es que los presentes descubran de quién huía cuando ella se lanzó del precipicio.
He's getting closer.
Who is getting closer? Can you tell us his name?
No! Stay away from me! Please stay away!
Vicky!
What happened?
I couldn't let her go on.
Why not?
Well, if Elizabeth was right, if that was Josette, she was recreating her death.
But she was about to tell us the name of the person who was chasing her.
I couldn't let her go through that death again.
Vicky. Vicky, you all right?
You shouldn't have stopped her.
It was the only way I could save her.
Victoria despierta sin recordar los acontecimientos recientes, pero se entera de que nuevamente Josette habló a través de ella y que su espíritu estaba reviviendo los minutos antes de su muerte. Caroline recuerda que la vez anterior que Josette los contactó tenía algo muy concreto que decirles.
I wonder if there's something she was trying to tell us this time too.
Barnabas desestima la hipótesis de que Josette haya querido revelar la identidad del hombre que la perseguía.
Whoever it was is now long gone, dead these many years. And I hardly think it humane that we should put Miss Winters or the spirit of Josette through so much torment. Merely to discover the name of a man who's been in his grave almost 200 years.
You're obviously right.
Maybe that's not the reason Josette wanted us to know.
The last time someone was in danger. David, remember? But no one's in danger now.
How do we know?
Oh, Carolyn, please, you're letting your imagination run away with you.
Your mother's right. Why create a fear when none exists?
Who could be in danger? None of us? Unless...
Unless what?
Well, what I'm thinking about has nothing to do with Josette, but... Well, we haven't forgotten what happened to Maggie Evans, have we?
Maggie?
The person who killed Maggie could still be somewhere around.
But as you say, there's no connection between that and our ancestor Josette.
You're right. That's why I don't really think that she could have been warning us about anything.
This whole thing should never have happened.
Victoria confiesa sentirse algo cansada, como si hubiera estado corriendo, por lo que Burke sugiere llevarla de vuelta a Collinwood. Pero ella no quiere, y en su lugar prefiere salir a tomar un poco de aire fresco.
Come, everyone. Please have some more wine. We mustn't forget that this is a party.
Little girl.
Vicky. Vicky, what is it?
I saw a little girl. Little girl standing on the top step.
It's too dark up there to see anything.
A little girl. Who's there? Is there anyone there?
There couldn't possibly be. It's only Vicky's imagination.
You're probably right. I guess I am tired.
What did she look like?
She looked like a shadow. That's all she was.
I'm not so sure. Do you know what she made me think of?
What?
Yes, of course. Do you remember that dress, that little girl's dress that we found in the trunk with the other old clothes?
Yes.
Well, from the little that I could see, she seemed to be wearing that dress.
Mucho más tarde, la familia ha regresado a Collinwood y conversan reunidos en el salón. Elizabeth todavía cree que estuvo mal ir a la fiesta con los trajes de sus antepasados. Roger, por su parte, considera que fue una velada muy interesante. Caroline solo lamenta que Barnabas haya detenido la sesión. Sin embargo, Vicky está decepcionada por la forma en que terminó la fiesta.
I wish the party hadn't ended so soon.
I should think you'd be happy that it's all over.
Strangely enough, I'm not.
Well, of course you aren't. You had more fun than anybody.
How can you call it fun?
Well, that's what it was. Oh, Liz, you surprised me. You take it so seriously.
We really shouldn't have left.
How can you say that? Even poor Barnabas was upset by what happened.
All the more reason that we should have stayed.
What do you mean?
We shouldn't have left him alone when he was in a mood like that.
He tried so hard to give us a wonderful party. And look what happened.
And it was a wonderful party. And now to bed. With dreams of lovely ladies jumping off cliffs and all sort of ancestral exercises.
Don't make fun of other people's suffering.
Oh, nonsense, Liz. What is the value of suffering if it isn't to be enjoyed?
Enjoy your own, then, not other people's.
I think that all of the unhappiness of all of my ancestors is my rightful heritage, and you shouldn't try to keep it from me. Good night, ladies.
Elizabeth también sugiere irse a descansar, ya que ha sido una noche difícil, pero ninguna de las chicas quiere retirarse aún.
Well, don't stay up too late. And Vicky, try not to be too upset by what happened. I mean the seance.
I'm not upset.
But you are.
Honestly.
You are, I can tell by looking at you.
I just can't stop thinking about the look on Barnabas's face when we left. So sad, so lonely.
Well, don't brood about it too much.
I won't. I just want to sit here for a little longer.
Good night.
Good night, Mother.
I had to stop them. I had to send you away again because you are truly gone, as the past is gone. I must live in the present And if I'm to have you at last, you must be someone from the present. So go away and never come back. Any of you.
Victoria se ha quedado sola en el salón, pensando aún en la soledad que percibió en Barnabas.
Who is it?
Miss Winters, it's Barnabas.
Forgive me for calling at such a late hour,
I'm afraid Mrs. Stoddard has gone to bed.
but it was you who I wanted to see.
Me? Won't you please come in?
Thank you. I wanted to thank you
Thank me.
for coming to my party,
We all came to your party.
but I thought that you fulfilled the spirit of it more than anyone.
That's very kind of you.
I'm sorry that it wasn't a more delightful evening.
Please don't let it bother you.
Well, I apologize if I seemed perturbed.
I shouldn't have said that about seeing the little girl. It probably was just my imagination.
And I shouldn't have been so upset. But in spite of everything, I must confess that I don't believe in ghosts. And there were moments tonight, seeing you, that I could have sworn that Josette had come back. And not only in spirit.
I'm very flattered.
It's very true. And those moments made me feel that my evening was a success.
I'm very glad that I could make you feel that way.
And for that reason, I feel deeply grateful to you. And which is why I want you to have this.
Josette's music box.
Please take it.
No, I couldn't.
Oh, you must. As a gift of gratitude.
So lovely.
Listen. Please accept it.
A la mañana siguiente, en el sanatorio Wycliffe, la doctora Julia Hoffman está en sesión con Maggie Evans, quien todavía no recuerda el calvario que fue obligada a padecer.
Don't worry about that. It isn't necessary at this time to remember things specifically. Today I'd like you to concentrate on sense memories.
What do you mean?
Julia le explica que se trata de recordar cosas que tocó o escuchó, cosas que probó y no le gustaron, sensaciones como el frío o el calor, cosas que la hicieron sentirse feliz o triste.
Nothing seems to have pleased me or made me happy. Everything is sad and dreary and cold. Yes, just cold.
Try to describe this feeling of cold.
Everything around me is cold. Wait. I think I hear some music.
Tell me about the music.
There's some music.
Do you recognize the melody?
No. It's just a tinkling kind of music. Way off. Just a tinkling sound way off in the distance.
Elizabeth entra en el salón y después de saludar a la institutriz, se fija en el pequeño objeto que está en el escritorio. Victoria le muestra la caja de música y ambas comentan sobre el hermoso diseño y la melodía tan especial que posee.
Where'd it come from?
Barnabas Collins gave it to me.
Barnabas? When?
Last night.
Oh, I don't remember.
When he came by the house after you'd gone to bed, he was very upset about the seance and what I'd been through.
Oh, how very thoughtful of him.
I hope you don't mind my accepting it.
Well, why should I mind?
Because it's a Collins family heirloom.
Oh?
It belonged to Josette Collins.
It was Josette?
Yes, Mr. Collins found it and restored it to perfect condition.
I see. Of course, I don't mind your having it, and I'm glad it's giving you so much pleasure. It seems to me that suddenly you've been getting an awful lot of Josette Collins.
What do you mean?
Oh, just a feeling I have. You wore her dress to the party last night. Now this gift. And what bothers me the most is that she chose you to speak through last night at the seance.
Well, it's happened before.
I know, and it concerns me.
Elizabeth también siente que todo eso ha tenido un efecto adverso en Victoria, especialmente después de que vio a esa niña durante la fiesta de disfraces. Sin embargo, la institutriz cree tener la explicación para eso. Ella había visto con anterioridad el vestido de Sarah Collins, guardado en un baúl. Así que eso debe haber quedado impreso en su mente, y en la fiesta simplemente imaginó que veía a esa niña.
Vicky, you're a very sensitive and vulnerable girl because you have no connection with the past. Just be careful you don't imagine one that doesn't exist.
Julia continúa trabajando con Maggie e insta a su paciente a contarle más sobre la melodía. Ella la anima a concentrarse y se entera que la melodía es música muy delicada y frágil, casi como campanas a punto de romperse.
Does the music mean anything to you?
No.
Does it make you happy?
No, it doesn't. It frightens me.
Why does it frighten you?
I keep hearing it. Keep hearing it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Stop it. Stop it. I don't want to think about it.
You have to think about it. You have to know why it upsets you, why it frightens you. It means something, Maggie, something very important.
I don't know. I don't know.
You must try to relax. And tell me the things that come into your mind.
Something else.
What is it?
Something in the air. Like an aroma of some kind.
Do you like it?
Sweet. It's very sweet.
Sweet, like a flower?
No, I don't think it's a flower. There's something about it that I don't like. It frightens me.
Frightens you? What could it be? A sweet aroma that you're frightened of. It seems strange, doesn't it?
Something bad. Something bad.
Music and an aroma. And both experiences seem to be bad ones. They both seem to frighten you. You described a coldness that you felt.
Still feel it. It's all around me.
Close your eyes, Maggie. And try to recall the past. Now, do you see anything, Maggie? Tell me what you see.
I see shapes, or forms.
What kind of forms?
Tall. They're towering over me.
What place is this you're seeing, Maggie?
I don't know, but I see these forms all around me.
Tell me more about these forms.
I think they're white.
Can you Can you reach out and touch one?
Yes. Yes, I can. It's cold. Hard. It's like stone. It's like stone. And there's writing on them.
Could it be a gravestone? Maggie, are you in a cemetery?
Cemetery? In a cemetery? I'm in a cemetery!
Victoria ha ido a la casa vieja para devolver el vestido que usó en la fiesta, y Willie la acompaña hasta la habitación de Josette, donde ella pidió dejarlo.
You know, he came to see me last night.
Last night?
Mm-hmm. After the party.
You mean he went up to Collinwood?
Yes. He was very apologetic. Oh, Willie, he gave me the most beautiful present I've ever been given.
What present did he give you?
Josette's music box.
The music box?
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
I listened to it before I went to bed last night. And then this morning I sat listening to it for hours and hours.
Well, you shouldn't do that.
Why?
Why? Well, it's an old music box. It might get worn. You might not be able to get it fixed.
Willie, I'll be careful. To think that she sat and played that music box right here in this room. She's become a very real person to me. Her perfume. Jasmine. I'm very glad that for one night I could wear her dress and in a sense be her. And now I've been given something that belonged to her. And I can sit and listen to it and maybe even have the same thoughts that she had.
Mr. Collins was saying we should have waited until tomorrow for the party.
Why?
Because tomorrow's Josette's birthday.
Her birthday?
Yeah. He was saying that it was on her birthday that she was given the music box.
And now it's been given to me. That makes me feel even closer to her. Mrs. Stoddard, I was wondering if I could speak to you for a minute.
Of course.
Victoria le pide una hora libre del trabajo para el día de mañana. Elizabeth se la da sin titubear, pero luego se sorprende cuando Vicky le comenta que planea llevar flores a la tumba de Josette con motivo de su cumpleaños.
You're not serious.
Yes, I really am.
A Elizabeth le preocupa que Victoria se esté alejando aún más de la realidad.
I don't think anybody's put any flowers on her grave in generations. You were right that I have nothing to cling to, no past and no family. Well, Josette's become very important to me.
I wish you'd change your mind.
No, I must go there. I have to put flowers on Josette's grave.
Feel better? Good. You've made tremendous progress today. You've remembered many things.
Have I?
Yes. You've remembered coldness, you've remembered a melody, a fragrance. All these things are very important. But more important, you remembered a place, a specific place.
Cemetery.
Sin embargo, Maggie no recuerda por qué razón estaba en ese lugar, aunque todavía se siente atormentada por la imagen de las tumbas que están en su mente.
must do everything and anything we can to hurry the day that you can remember the story of the real Maggie Evans. You want that day to happen, don't you?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I think there might be a way to help us to that day.
What do you mean?
What if you were to see that cemetery again?
See it?
Yes, what if you were to go there?
I don't know.
It'd be a big and important step. It would make things happen faster.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to go to the cemetery.
Can't you see that your very fear of it is the reason that you must face it?
Want to face it. I don't want to go there.
Even if it would help you?
Please. Please don't take me there. Don't take me there. Please. Please.
El Dr. Goddard se ha presentado sin previo aviso en el sanatorio Wycliffe, lo cual molesta sobremanera a su colega, pero Goddard le explica que se siente frustrado por su falta de comunicación, y ella afirma que si ha sido así es porque aún no tiene nada nuevo que reportar. Goddard sigue expresando que no le gusta lo posesiva y secreta que ella se ha vuelto. Dan Evans y Joe Haskell le preguntan todo el tiempo por la chica, ya que quieren conocer los detalles de su progreso, pero él no tiene nada que decirles. Con su actitud tan cerrada, ella más bien le da la impresión de que lo está evitando para mantener los detalles del caso para sí misma.
Then if they're not satisfied with me, I suggest you find another doctor for Maggie.
Wait a minute.
I mean it. Either you have confidence in me or you don't.
I have all the confidence in the world in you.
Then I suggest you remember that in the future, Doctor.
I apologize. You accept my apology?
Certainly.
Julia se pregunta en voz alta.
I wonder if she returned to a place where she was during the time she was missing, if the shock of recognition might jog her memory.
But we don't know where she was.
We know one place. You told me that she was found wandering in a cemetery. I believe it was called the Eagle Hill Cemetery.
Well, you're not thinking of taking her there.
I'm thinking of anything that will help us get to the truth.
Julia, it is out of the question. Now, to begin with, Eagle Hill Cemetery is right outside of Collinsport. Somebody's liable to spot Maggie. But more important than that, subjecting her to an experience like that might very well drive Maggie to, well, to the point of no return.
I realize there are risks involved.
Risks? You are playing around with a girl's mind. You can't take risks like that.
I didn't say I was going to do it.
Even the suggestion of it alarms me. Julia, there's something that you've got to face. Your scientific detachment is admirable in itself, but it cannot become so important to you that you forget you're dealing with human beings.
Is this going to be another lecture?
No, no, no. All I'm trying to tell you is that you have no right to subject Maggie to an experience that might affect her sanity permanently.
I just finished telling you I wasn't going to do it.
Then you'll forget about this business of the cemetery.
Yes.
And you won't do anything drastic without at least first consulting me.
Yes, is that all?
I guess so.
Well, then I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to leave. I have some patients waiting for me.
All right. But now we are going to keep in touch.
Yes.
I apologize for having broken in on you this way.
I accept your apology. Goodbye, Dave.
Bye, Julia.
Send Maggie Evans in.
Burke ha salido temprano del trabajo para invitar a Vicky a viajar a la vecina ciudad de Bangor y quedarse a cenar allá. Victoria acepta encantada, pero le pregunta si antes podrían hacer una diligencia juntos. Hoy es el cumpleaños de una amiga y ella quiere llevarle flores frescas a su tumba en Eagle Hill.
Sam told me she was buried way up north of here.
Sam?
Sam Evans. You're talking about visiting the grave of Maggie, aren't you?
No. I'm talking about visiting the grave of Josette Collins.
Josette Collins?
I knew you'd think it was silly.
Vicky, Josette Collins lived over 100 years before you were born.
I know. But I feel very close to her. Burke, don't you remember how she helped me when I was in danger?
Or you imagined she did, when you were frightened out of your mind.
I saw her. I know I did.
All right, Vicky, I'm not going to argue with you, but I do think you ought to forget about it.
How can I forget about her when I feel so close to her?
Only because you wore her dress at Barnabas' party the other night. The more I think about that party, the more I think it had a bad effect on everybody.
I felt close to her long before that party. There was a time, Burke, when I even thought she was one of my ancestors.
That would make you a Collins. I can't believe that.
Come inside. There's something I'd like you to see.
What?
This. It was her music box.
Where did you get it?
Barnabas Collins gave it to me.
Collins?
It was a sort of a thank you present for helping him with the party. I didn't do anything to deserve it, but I'm delighted to have it. It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very nice.
Listen to it.
Very pretty.
Sometimes when I'm listening to it, I feel as though she's very nearby. Very near to me. Why did you do that?
Because I don't like to hear you talk like that.
I don't understand you.
Vicky, you're a sensible, intelligent girl. And you were just talking as if you really believe in the Collins spooks.
Don't call her that.
This house is really getting to you, isn't it? All of a sudden you're talking like all those old legends and fairy tales about Collinwood are really true. And that's not right.
Well, I can't help it if I feel close to her. Maybe it's wrong, but I can't help it.
Vicky, being attracted to a legend is one thing. But it's another thing when you treat it as fact. Now, I don't think we ought to visit the grave of Josette Collins.
Why not?
Because it will only encourage you to think about her more, maybe to believe in her more. And you shouldn't. It's not good for you.
And you won't take me?
No. No, it's not a good idea.
Vicky está decidida a ir, aunque sea sola, lo cual también preocupa a Burke. Después de darse cuenta que llevar las flores significa mucho para Vicky, acepta llevarla al cementerio, siempre y cuando sea una visita rápida para poder emprender el largo viaje. Compartir un paseo juntos termina por suavizar las cosas entre ellos.
I'll be ready in a minute.
Right.
Bring me here.
I've told you there's nothing to be afraid of.
La doctora Hoffman ha llevado a Maggie al cementerio, en contra de su voluntad. La chica, visiblemente asustada, solo quiere salir de allí. Pero Julia la obliga a que camine a través de las lápidas, por si algún recuerdo viene a su memoria. Pero nada sobre el cementerio es familiar para Maggie, y cada vez se agita más.
Remember, look around once more.
I don't want to look around.
Look around once more and then we'll leave.
We'll leave?
Yes, but you must look around once more.
All right.
La tumba de Josette Collins ha llamado su atención.
What is that grave? Does that grave mean something to you? Do you recognize that grave?
No.
Are you sure?
Pero antes de que Julia pueda seguirla interrogando, escuchan voces acercándose.
I thought I heard voices.
Some people are coming. We can't let them see you. We better go.
Do you see her grave?
No.
Neither do I. Mrs. Stoddard said that it was by a clump of elm trees. That might be it over there.
Where?
Over there, where those two women are standing.
Come with me, Maggie. Now come.
Here it is.
That's a pitiful sort of a grave for one of the mighty Collinses.
It makes me so sad. This grave is so lonely and desolate. Except for those two women over there, the whole graveyard is deserted.
What is it?
I heard voices.
Oh, don't look back. No, let's go.
Vicky, what is it?
I saw
What's the matter? You're as white as a sheet.
those women over there.
What about them?
One of them just turned around, and for a second I saw her face.
What about it?
It was Maggie. I saw her distinctly. It was Maggie Evans.
Vicky, look at me. You couldn't have seen Maggie. Maggie is dead.
I know.
Well, that's why you couldn't have seen her. It was your imagination.
Victoria insiste en que era Maggie. Está segura de ello. Burke le recuerda que también estaba segura de haber visto a una niña en la fiesta de disfraces y fue solo su imaginación. Victoria comienza a preocuparse de que esté perdiendo el control de la realidad.
Burke, what's the matter with me?
You've been under a lot of strain. First the shock of Maggie's death, and then the seance the other night.
But I'm scared. Why do I keep imagining these things?
Because you have a vivid imagination. But you mustn't let her run away with you. Being in this graveyard doesn't help matters either. Come on, let's get out of here.
All right.
Mientras tanto, Julia y Maggie han entrado al mausoleo hasta que sea seguro salir del cementerio.
Does the name Collins mean anything to you? No? This one's named Sarah, the same as your friend who you played with.
Sarah?
It's possibly an ancestor of hers.
You said we could go. Why don't we go?
Maggie, look at me.
Why?
Because I want you to look around and I want you to try to remember when you were in this place before.
I can't. I've got to get out of here.
Maggie, why are you so frightened?
I can't stay here.
Why not?
Because he'll kill me.
Who's he?
I'll die.
Who are you talking about, Maggie?
I'll die.
No, Maggie, you're with me. You're safe with me, Maggie. Maggie, can you hear me? You're safe, Maggie. All right, Maggie, we'll go now. We will go. We're going, Maggie. We're going.
I'm in no mood to do you any more favors. You never have brought Maggie down here, and you certainly shouldn't have taken her near that cemetery.
As usual, I disagree.
Don't you realize that every minute that she's here, even in this house, she's in terrible danger?
Fortunately, this place is outside of town. No one has seen her.
But suppose someone had Julia. A whole plan would have gone right out the window.
I know, which should indicate how important I thought it was to bring Maggie here.
Oh.
Now, how about my request?
You want me to introduce you to the Collins family as some sort of a family historian?
Yes, something of a genealogist.
Well, why can't I introduce you as Dr. Julia Hoffman?
I have my reasons.
Look, I know the Collins family. If they knew that you were trying to
You know
help
as
Maggie...
well as I do that they mustn't even know that Maggie is still alive.
All right, but listen, if they realized that you were trying to track down the maniac who did this to Maggie, they'd cooperate completely.
No one must know that I have anything to do with the case. It's the only way I can work.
You suspect one of them, don't you?
Why do you keep asking me questions that you know I can't answer?
Well, won't you at least tell me what happened at the cemetery yesterday?
I'd prefer not to.
Look, did Maggie lead you to something that you think implicates the Collins family?
Implicates is the wrong word. Maggie merely pointed in a direction, which I am now going to follow.
All right, Julia, I give up. Yes, of course, I'll do what you ask. If for no other reason than to get to the bottom of all this.
Thank you. I had the feeling you would.
Algún tiempo después, Julia se ha presentado en Collinwood, pese a que Elizabeth no podría atenderla por estar ocupada en las empresas de la familia.
But I've heard so much about Collinwood, I thought I had to come and see it anyway. I hope I'm not intruding.
Not at all. As a matter of fact, when Dr. Woodard told me that he had a friend who was interested in doing research in the old families of New England, I couldn't wait to meet you.
Oh, you have a similar interest?
Well, not really. Mine is limited to the Collins family.
Oh?
You see, I've become a bit of a nut on the subject.
Oh, well, then perhaps you're the one I should talk to.
Oh, no. I'm much too much of an amateur. You really should talk to Mrs. Stoddard. Or better still, you should talk to Barnabas Collins.
Barnabas. Oh, yes, Dr. Woodard told me. Mrs. Stoddard's cousin.
Yes, he's from England. And he knows everything there is to know about the family history, especially about the past.
Miss Winters.
El pequeño David irrumpe en el salón y Victoria se lo presenta a la señorita Hoffman, explicándole que ella es una historiadora. David se ofrece a ayudarla en su investigación y le comenta sobre todos los libros y pinturas que podría utilizar. Victoria le sugiere que mejor reanude sus estudios de geografía y David, que ha estado jugando afuera, se lamenta de no haberse divertido mucho.
That's probably why I'm home on time. I was sort of hoping I could see Sarah.
Maybe you will next time. Now, why don't you run upstairs and I'll be up in a minute.
Sarah Collins?
Oh, no. She's just a little girl from somewhere in the neighborhood.
I wish I knew her last name. Then I could find her and invite her over.
You don't know her last name?
No. You know, sometimes I don't even think she knows it.
What do you mean?
She acts sort of funny. I think she's sort of dumb.
David, anyone who did what you did in geography this morning shouldn't call anyone else dumb. Now, upstairs. It's sad, isn't it? He has almost no one to play with. At times, I think he even imagines these friends of his.
You think perhaps Sarah isn't real?
I don't know. I hope she is real for David's sake. Well, what were we talking about?
El tema de conversación vuelve a ser sobre Barnabas, y Julia se entera de algunas cosas sobre la casa vieja y ciertas excentricidades del nuevo inquilino. También descubre la gran inclinación que la institutriz siente por el pasado y su fascinación por la habitación de Josette, por lo que Julia expresa su interés en verla.
Oh, I'd like very much to see the room and to meet Mr. Collins. Would it be convenient to go this afternoon?
Well, I'm not sure. You see, he doesn't exactly welcome strangers.
But if you came with me...
Seeing as you are so interested in the family history, maybe he might be a little more friendly.
Friendly? You make him sound forbidding.
Oh, no, he's not that at all. As a matter of fact, he's the gentlest, kindest man I know. It's just that he values his privacy. Well, we all try and respect that.
But when you explain that I share his interest in things past...
I have a feeling that you two are going to get along very well.
I hope so.
Victoria lleva a Julia a la casa vieja, y aunque Barnabas no se encuentra allí, Willie les permite entrar a la habitación de Josette. Julia se entera sobre la fiesta de disfraces que hubo recientemente con motivo de la restauración de la casa y que la institutriz usó uno de los vestidos de Josette por amabilidad del propio Barnabas, quien les facilitó los trajes a todos los asistentes.
Look, the dress, it's still there.
It's lovely. What was that?
What?
Un frío repentino invade a Julia, quien opta por retirarse.
But you will come back and see the house again when Mr. Collins is here, won't you?
Oh, yes. I can't tell you how much I look forward to it. Now, Maggie, we're going to play one of our games. Now, let me hold your doll.
No.
We want to find out what the doll's name is. The doll doesn't have a name, does she? All right, we're going to find out. Now, listen to me. I want you to listen very carefully, and I want you to look at the doll very carefully, and maybe you'll hear its name.
Doll talk?
If you listen very carefully and look very carefully, you'll find out. Are you listening?
Yes.
My name is Elizabeth Collins Stoddard.
Elizabeth?
That doesn't mean anything to you.
No.
All right, we'll try again. My name is Sarah Collins.
Sarah's my friend. She gave me the doll.
And that's all she means to you.
She's my friend.
All right, we'll try again. Now, let's see. My name is Carolyn Stoddard.
Carolyn?
That doesn't mean anything to you?
Carolyn?
All right, we'll keep on trying. My name is Barnabas Collins.
No. Please, not that name. No.
All right, Maggie, it's all right. It's not the right name. It's not the right name, Maggie.
Don't hurt me.
Oh, nobody's gonna hurt you, Maggie. It's the wrong name. Here, take your doll. It's the wrong name. It's the wrong name.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling.
The wrong name for the doll. But the right name for something else.
Is anything the matter?
No. Why?
Well, I knocked and you didn't even hear me.
I didn't?
Are you sure you're all right?
Yes, of course. I was just sitting here thinking.
You must have been doing some pretty deep thinking.
I was thinking about Maggie.
Maggie?
I thought I saw her the other day.
Saw her? But Vicky, Maggie is dead.
I know.
What do you mean you saw Maggie?
Victoria le cuenta lo ocurrido esa tarde que visitó el cementerio para colocar flores en la tumba de Josette Collins. Caroline se sorprende y cuestiona el comportamiento de la institutriz, creyendo que todavía está bajo la influencia de la sesión espiritista.
But I'm all right. Really, I am.
Well, Burke has been waiting downstairs for almost half an hour.
Burke, but I didn't know that.
Burke has taken you out on this particular night for the past 2 months.
I completely forgot.
Well, he's waiting.
But I'm not so sure that I want to go out tonight.
Where did you get this?
Don't you recognize it?
Yes, it was in Josette's room in the old house.
Mm-hmm. Barnabas gave it to me after the party.
Barnabas gave it to you?
Is that so strange?
No, I guess not.
I was listening to it when you came in.
Vicky, do you mean you were just sitting here listening to that?
What's wrong with that?
Well, I don't know. It just isn't like you.
I could go on listening to it forever.
Well, you better make it some other time, because Burke is still waiting.
Oh, yes. Well, look, you tell him that I'll be downstairs in 10 seconds.
All right, but you stop listening to that, or it'll be 10 hours.
Maybe you're right.
Barnabas, I didn't know you were here.
I was hoping to see Miss Winters.
Oh, Vicky said she'll be down in just a few minutes, Burke.
What did she do? Forget what night this is?
No, she just was a little busy, that's all.
I hope I'm not intruding.
Well, that all depends. Vicky and I have a date.
Of course. I only wanted to see her for a moment. I have something for her.
Barnabas le muestra a Caroline un libro que trajo muy antiguo y fuera de lo común.
You're giving it to Vicky?
Well, she does seem to share my appreciation for things from the past.
Yes. Yes, I know.
But when I mentioned my library the other day, she seemed so interested that, well, I thought I'd give her this one little volume.
Barnabas, I probably have no right to say this, but...
What is it?
Well, do you think it's such a good idea to be so involved in the past?
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
I do. Carolyn probably feels that Vicky is letting herself get too involved with the past. And I agree.
But surely it's a harmless pastime.
Burke le hace ver que parece no serlo tanto. Junto con Caroline comienzan a contarle sobre la visita de Victoria al cementerio.
She insisted on putting flowers on Josette's grave.
She did.
Now that's a little bit too far out.
Seems to me a very thoughtful and lovely thing to do.
That's not the way I see it. After all, what is Josette to Vicky anyway?
Burke, bastante molesto, le dice a Barnabas que no solo fue un error hacer la sesión espiritista, sino también usar los trajes de los antepasados. Caroline interrumpe la discusión, tratando que Barnabas entienda que no es buena esa obsesión de Vicky por otra época.
I doubt if it's as excessive as you two seem to think it is.
Oh, isn't it? Well, let me tell you one more thing. Vicky is beginning to see things, people. The other night at your party, she saw that little girl. And at the cemetery, she thought she saw Maggie Evans.
Maggie Evans?
Barnabas se alarma al escuchar esto último, pero finalmente se siente aliviado al escuchar que Burke no vio nada. Igual le preocupa que Victoria esté comenzando a imaginar cosas.
Are you going to leave right away?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Did you see Mrs. Stoddard?
Well, no.
I think she's in the study.
Actually, Barnabas didn't come to see Mrs. Stoddard.
Oh?
I came to see you.
Victoria asume de inmediato que es por la visita que ella hizo a la casa vieja con la señorita Julia Hoffman, y le explica sobre el interés que ésta tiene en escribir un libro sobre la historia de la familia Collins. Para su decepción, Barnabas no está entusiasmado con la idea de un extraño ahondando en los antecedentes de su familia.
I'm not sure I'm too enthusiastic about the idea.
But I was so sure you'd love it.
Well, I've always preferred to keep the family history within the family itself.
But it's too exciting. You have to share it.
I do, but only with people I know who have an appreciation for it.
Well, I'm sure that Miss Hoffman would.
Well, perhaps. But it's nothing that has to be settled right away, so if you'll excuse me.
Of course. But promise me one thing. That you'll at least think about letting Miss Hoffman do her research.
I will. Well, I must be going. The storm is coming.
Good night.
Antes de que pueda irse, Victoria nota el libro en sus manos. Después de haber sido intimidado por Burt, Barnabas trata de minimizar la importancia del libro y le dice que puede ir en cualquier otro momento a ver su biblioteca.
Can't I at least look at this one? Please.
Well, I suppose so.
Mientras lo observa con detenimiento, lo abre y se da cuenta de que tiene una dedicatoria.
I don't understand.
What is it?
It's inscribed to me. From you.
Yes.
And you were going to leave without even letting me see it?
Well, I guess I may as well confess.
What are you talking about?
I didn't want Barnabas to give you the book.
What?
I'm sorry if I've created a somewhat clumsy situation.
Why didn't you want him to give me this book?
Mr. Devlin felt that you've become too enamored of the past as it is.
But a book! I don't understand you, Burke. What is this all about?
Okay, so I went a little overboard.
I'm sorry, but I really must excuse myself. I really shouldn't have intruded to start with.
That's not true at all. It was very thoughtful of you to bring me this book, and I thank you.
You're very welcome. Good night.
You ready to go? I need a drink.
I'm not sure that I want to go out tonight.
Oh, come on, Vicky. You're not that sore at me.
No, I'm not sore at you. I just like to stay at home, that's all.
Sorry. What you need is a good time. Good and loud, and I'm going to give it to you.
No! Burke, please!
Vicky, what's the matter with you?
Nothing!
I suppose you'd rather curl up with that ridiculous book.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Plenty.
You sound as though I'm going to be swallowed up by the past.
Burke no logra que Vicky cambie de opinión.
No. Good night.
Good night.
Who is it?
Oh, Mr. Collins, it's Vicky Winters.
Miss Winters, come in.
I can't stay long. The storm is about to break, but I wanted to talk to you.
What is it?
Victoria se disculpa por el comportamiento al que fue sometido en Collinwood. Él le dice que no hay nada que perdonar, pero ella insiste.
But everyone was most polite.
Oh, yes, most polite. criticizing you up and down for giving me that lovely book.
Well, perhaps because they don't understand our appreciation for things gone before.
Victoria vuelve a darle las gracias por el detalle del libro, el cual le encantó. Él está complacido con sus palabras. Luego de conversar brevemente, ella se despide.
Good night.
Pero la lluvia torrencial ya ha empezado.
Oh, you can't go out and laugh.
But I have to.
You wait until we'll set up just a little bit.
I'm so sure that I'd have time to get here and then make it back to the house.
Perhaps it'll blow over soon.
I don't think so. It doesn't look like that kind of a storm.
Well, going out in it now is impossible.
Gentilmente, Barnabas ofrece enviar a Willie a la mansión Collins para avisarle a la familia que ella se encuentra refugiada allí, pero Victoria no lo considera necesario. Tampoco expondría a Willie a semejante tormenta.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to stay here. I'm very sorry.
Please forgive me if I'm delighted.
You're very kind.
Barnabas comienza a hacer referencia a las tormentas y cuenta que la casa vieja fue diseñada para resistir incluso los peores temporales.
What am I going to do if it doesn't stop?
You'll wait here, and I'll do my best to entertain you.
But I don't think you understand. I think this storm is going to last all night.
Don't forget, Josette's room is ready at all times.
Yes, of course. Josette's room.
Barnabas queda aún más encantado cuando Victoria admite lo mucho que le atrae dormir en la habitación de Josette. Siempre le ha gustado imaginar que ella podría ser uno de sus antepasados.
I suppose that sounds very foolish to you.
Not at all. It's very easy for me to believe that you are descended from Josette.
Why do you say that?
Well, because you're so much like her in so many ways. Well, not only because of your beauty, but because of your intelligence, your warmth, your generosity.
You're very flattering.
Only truthful.
Sometimes when you talk about Josette, it's as if you knew her.
I know a great deal about her. I've taken the trouble to find out all I can, because among my ancestors, I have always found Josette to be the most fascinating.
And may I ask you one thing, Mr. Collins?
Barnabas, please.
Barnabas,
What is it?
once long ago you told me about her death, how she threw herself from Widow's Hill.
Yes, I've always considered it the saddest of the family legends.
You described how she ran to the cliffs. Ran because someone was chasing her.
Yes?
Who was chasing her?
Her lover. The man who loved her more than anyone else in the world.
Do you know who he was?
Yes?
Who?
Jeremiah Collins.
Her husband?
Yes.
Her husband was chasing her?
According to the legend, yes.
But then he must have done something to frighten her, to make her feel so desperate.
Perhaps he did, intentionally or unintentionally.
But I thought he loved her.
The man who ran after Josette Collins that stormy night long ago loved her more than life itself.
And yet he was responsible for her death.
Well, he never intended for her to die, only to live.
I don't understand a kind of love that ends in death and destruction.
Perhaps Josette never understood him or the extent of his love.
Well, I don't understand a love like that. If he loved her, then he wouldn't have frightened her.
Perhaps. But I can't defend everything he did. Nor could he.
Victoria decide retirarse a descansar, pero la conversación ha hecho meditar a Barnabas y, temeroso de hacerle daño, se ofrece a acompañarla de vuelta a Collinwood a pesar de la tormenta.
Well, it sounds worse than ever to me.
Then you'd prefer to stay?
I think so. If it would be no inconvenience to you.
Of course it would be no inconvenience.
I appreciate your hospitality.
Of course.
Good night.
Good night.
Mientras Victoria trata de dormir en la cama de Josette, Barnabas está abajo luchando contra sus impulsos vampíricos. Willie entra en la sala, interrumpiendo sus pensamientos, y le cuenta que estuvo en el sótano, revisando que todo estuviera bien antes de irse a acostar, pero se sorprendió al encontrar una pequeña pelota.
This ball?
Yeah. It looks like it belongs to a kid, but I'm pretty sure no kid could have gotten into the house. Every door and window was locked all day long.
Oh, where did you find it?
In the basement, near the coffin.
The coffin?
Barnabas teme que David Collins haya entrado en la casa, pero Willie le recuerda que no es el único niño que suele jugar en los alrededores.
What do you mean?
There's that little girl.
Little girl?
The one I told you about, the one who plays around here. But I don't see how she could have gotten in here either.
How old was that girl?
9, 10.
9, 10.
You know, it's funny. Maggie Evans talked about seeing a little girl. I thought she was crazy.
She was.
Hey, maybe that ball was down there all the time and we never noticed it before.
Possibly.
De todas formas, Barnabas decide ir a echar un vistazo al sótano.
Barnabas?
What?
I keep having the strangest feeling.
What are you talking about?
I keep having a feeling that there's someone else in this house besides us.
Wait here.
Mientras tanto, Victoria se despierta por el sonido de alguien cantando El Puente de Londres.
Who's there? Who is it?
Enciende una vela y busca en la habitación, pero no hay nadie allí.
Willie?
Miss Willis, what are you doing here?
Didn't Mr. Collins tell you I was staying here?
Oh, no, he didn't.
Well, I stopped by to talk to him and I got caught in the storm. And he was kind enough to let me stay in the house.
You're spending the night here in this house?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
In Josette's room.
Josette?
Willie, the strangest thing
Miss
just
Winnet, do you really think it's a good idea for you to stay here?
A good idea.
Well, I mean, would they be worried about you, the people at Collinwood?
No, I don't think so. I think they've all gone to sleep by now.
Now, you can't tell. And I know you don't want them to worry.
Listen, Willie, I don't want to go out in a storm like this, and it's not going to blow over until...
I'll go home with you to make sure you get home through the woods, all right, okay?
That's very nice of you, but it's not necessary.
You want to stay here?
Well, to be quite honest with you, I like the idea of spending the night in Josette's room.
You do?
Yes. It's very comfortable. Anyway, I wouldn't drag anybody out in a storm like this.
Now, look, I wouldn't mind. I really wouldn't.
You surprise me, Willie.
Why?
You never used to be this thoughtful.
Miss Winnet.
Yes? What is it?
You're making a big mistake.
Why do you say that?
Yes, Willie. Why do you say that? Why is Miss Winters making a mistake?
People might get the wrong idea.
Because she's staying in this house tonight?
Yeah.
I'm sure that your concern is completely unwarranted.
Of course it is.
Maybe so.
But Willie was kind enough to offer to take me back to Collinwood.
Was he?
Yes, I told him it wasn't necessary, but I appreciate his generosity.
Well, Willie's a very generous young man. Aren't you, Willie? Oh, come now, don't be modest. I dare say that you will someday be amply rewarded for your generosity. Well, what brings you downstairs, Miss Winters? The storm? Couldn't you sleep?
No, it wasn't that. A very strange thing happened.
What?
Victoria relata su extraña experiencia arriba, en la que escuchó a una niña cantando El Puente de Londres. Esto tiene un efecto notable en Barnabas, quien lo encuentra imposible y convence a Victoria de que todo estaba en su imaginación. Una vez calmados sus temores, Victoria nuevamente decide irse a descansar.
Who is she, Barnabas, this little girl?
There is no little girl.
But Miss Winters heard her.
That was her imagination.
Well, she didn't imagine this. How did it get here, Barnabas, unless she left it here, whoever she is?
There is no little girl.
But Barnabas...
There is no little girl, you understand?
Yeah.
Wait. What were you saying to Miss Winters when I came into the room?
What?
Go on, what were you saying?
Barnabas manipula a Willie, quien admite que estaba tratando de advertir a Victoria sobre él. Aunque al principio se molesta por su comportamiento, le complace escucharle admitir la verdad.
Last you're telling me the truth.
You can kill me if you want to. But I didn't want you to harm her. She never did anything to deserve it.
You know what would have happened to you if you had warned her.
Yes.
And you know what I should do to you now for even trying.
You're gonna kill me?
No.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Nothing.
Nothing. You mean you change your mind? You aren't gonna punish me?
No. I want you to talk to me.
Talk?
Well, better still, don't talk, but stay here.
You like her, don't you? That's why you don't want to harm her. That's it, isn't it? Don't harm her, Barnabas. She never did anything to deserve it.
Be quiet, Willie.
You don't want to do it. I can tell you don't.
Please,
Willie, the sound of your voice is irritating me. You'd best you go to bed.
Barnabas.
Do as I say. All right. And stay in bed for the rest of the night.